So when it comes to LLCs, I want you guys to think of them as separate people. So we have John, we have John Services LLC. Everyone knows that John owns John Services LLC, but to a judge or a court or anything like that, they are two separate people. They have separate property, separate rights, separate privileges, all that fun stuff. Now, why should you care? Let's say John's loaded. He's got a $2 million house, a couple Lambos, and maybe a pet rock. John Services LLC, on the other hand, is broke. He owns a couple shovels, a wheelbarrow, and a leaf blower. Now let's say that somehow, while doing some work for a guy in the neighborhood called Zach, an employee of John Services LLC blows up Zach's car and lights his house on fire. Zach's probably not super happy about that, so what does he do? He sues John Services LLC. He takes the business to court, talks a bunch of nonsense, and a judge eventually tells John Services LLC to give Zach everything he owns as reimbursement, which is what? The shovels, a wheelbarrow, and the leaf blower. That's it. Had John not created John Services LLC, John would be on the hook for all of those damages. Zach would sue John, and when a judge tells John to give Zach everything he owns as reimbursement, John eventually ends up giving up what? His $2 million house, his Lambos, and maybe even his pet rock. Super not cool, especially since it was one of John's employees who actually did the damage. That's why LLC actually stands for Limited Liability Company. They're designed to let John keep all of his stuff safe while he's doing business, just in case the business makes a mistake, or limit John's liability in case anything goes wrong. So if you're in construction, or you're a physical therapist, or you're a chiropractor, or you're really just in any kind of business where messing things up would be really expensive and suck, you 100% want an LLC. And if you're not in one of those industries, or the liability of stuff doesn't really matter as much for you, you still want an LLC because it unlocks a bunch of different tax benefits down the line that you wouldn't be able to get without one. So in summary, an LLC is a separate person from the person who creates it. It stands for Limited Liability Company, which essentially just lets the owner of the LLC keep all of his stuff safe, just in case an employee of the business or the business itself makes a mistake. Regardless of if you have massive liability worries or not, you still 100% want an LLC because A, if you are in one of those industries where liability is important, it keeps you protected, and if you aren't, you get massive tax benefits down the line that you would not be able to get otherwise. So now that we know what an LLC does and why you definitely want to get one, in the next video I'll talk about how to decide which state you should start your LLC in. I'll see you then.